Here, a student observes the above phenomenon in the lab as a white light passes through a prism. Among many other colors, he observed the position of the two colors red and violet. What is the phenomenon called? What is this phenomenon? Splitting of white light into its constituent colors. That is called dispersion. So what is the phenomenon called? It is dispersion. And what is the reason for the violet light to bend more than the red light? You know, among red and violet, violet has the least wavelength, and the color with the least wavelength or smaller wavelength will be deviated most. So that is the reason for the violet light to bend more than the red light, because the wavelength of violet light is less than that of red light. Okay. Now let's look at the 26th question. Here, a student has two resistors, 2 ohm and 3 ohm with him. So she has to put one of them in place of R2 as shown in the circuit. The current that she needs in the entire circuit is exactly 9 ampere. Show by calculation which of the two resistors she should choose. So a student has two resistors with her. One is 2 ohm and the second one is 3 ohm. She has to put one of them in place of R2 as shown in the circuit. So instead of R2, she needs to put a 2 ohm or 3 ohm resistor. The current that she needs in the entire circuit is exactly 9 ampere. So she wants a current of 9 ampere to flow through the circuit, and for that, which resistor she should choose, 2 ohm or 3 ohm. Okay, so for that we need to identify the combination. Which combination is this? It's a parallel combination. And in a parallel combination, what is the expression to find out the total resistance? That is 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Okay. Now we don't know R2, but we know the value of R1. R1 is 4 ohm. So 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by R2. Isn't it? Now take the LCM and simplify. So you will get R2 plus 4 divided by 4R2. That is 1 by RE. So what will be RE? RE will be equal to, take the reciprocal of this expression, 4R2 by 4 plus R2. That is equivalent resistance. 4R2 by 4 plus R2. And in order to obtain a current of 9 ampere, how much should be the value of R2? So we know that as per Ohm's law, R is equal to V by I. Isn't it? R is equal to V by I. Now, here what is the equivalent resistance? Equivalent resistance is 4R2 by 4 plus R2. So here R will be 4R2 divided by 4 plus R2, that is equal to V by I. V is 12 volt, it is given in the question, and I is 9 ampere, it is also given in the question. Now cross multiply and find out the value of R2. So when you cross multiply, you will get 36 R2 is equal to 12 into 4, 48 plus 12 R2. Now 36 minus 12. What is 36 minus 12? It will be 24 R2, isn't it? So 24 R2 is equal to 48, which gives R2 equal to 48 by 24. 48 by 24, that is equal to 2 ohm. So which resistor should she choose? 2 ohm resistor. The value of R2 should be 2 ohm. So this is the answer. She should choose a resistance of 2 ohm in order to get a current of 9 ampere. Okay. So if you want, you can copy the steps into your notebook, because separate notes won't be provided for this session. So pause the video for a while and copy the notes. Now let's discuss the next question. It's the last question and or question also. In the given circuit, A, B, C and D are 4 lamps connected with a battery of 60 volt. Analyze the circuit to answer the following questions. What kind of combination are the lamps arranged? Series or parallel? It's very clear. It's a series, it's a parallel combination. A, B, C, D are 4 lamps and all the 4 lamps are arranged in a parallel combination. So answer for the first option is parallel. Explain with reference to your above answer what are the advantages of the combination of lamps. So this is a parallel combination, and what are the advantages of parallel combination? See, all the appliances requires a common potential difference. Here all the lamps are operating at a common potential difference 60 volt. That is an advantage. And also, since it is a parallel combination, more current flows through the gadgets or lamps. And also, even if one lamp fails to work, other lamps continue to work. Okay, so that are the advantages. That means you are supposed to write the advantages of parallel combination. That's it. Now explain with proper calculations which lamp glows the brightest. Which lamp glows the brightest? The lamp through which maximum current flows. So here, through which lamp's maximum current flows? Through the lamp C. So the lamp C glows the brightest. Now find the total resistance of the circuit. So what is the total resistance of the circuit? So to find out the total resistance of the circuit, you need to find out the resistance across each of these lamps and find out the equivalent resistance using the expression for equivalent resistance of parallel combination. Okay. What is the resistance across the lamp A? So in order to find out the resistance, you need to use the equation R is equal to V by I. And here the voltage will be always, potential difference will be always 60, and the current flowing through each of this lamp will vary. So what is the resistance across A? It will be V by I. So V is 60, and for the lamp A, what is the current flowing through lamp A? It is 3 ampere. So it will be 60 by 3, that is 20 ohm. Now, what is the resistance across B? That is equal to 60 divided by 4. What is 60 divided by 4? 2 2s are 4, 2 30, 60. Again, it will divide and we will get 15. So it will be 15 ohm. And what is the resistance across C? It will be 60 by 5, that is equal to 12 ohm. And what is the resistance across D? It will be equal to 60 by 3, that is 20 ohm. Again 20 ohm. So these are the resistances across each of the lamps. And all these lamps are arranged in parallel combination. So these resistors will be in parallel. And in parallel combination, what is the total resistance? 1 by R equivalent is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus etc. like that. So here it will be 1 by 20 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 20. And when you simplify, you will get 1 by 20 plus 1 by 20 will be 2 by 20, which will be equal to 1 by 10. 1 by 10 plus 1 by 15 plus 1 by 12. Now just find out the LCM and simplify this expression. So you will get a value. Take the reciprocal of that value. That will be the total resistance of the circuit. Okay, it's very simple. You can do it. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, children. So if you want, you can pause the video for a while and just note down the steps and just complete this problem. Okay. Now let's discuss the OR question. So here, PQ is a current carrying conductor in the plane of the paper as shown in the figure. Find the directions of magnetic field produced by it at points R and S. So here the direction of magnetic field in the case of a straight current carrying conductor can be found out by right hand rule. And what is right hand rule? Point your thumb along the direction of current. Then your direction in which the fingers are curled will give the direction of magnetic field. So here current flows upward. So if you point your thumb of your right hand along the direction of current, that means in the upward direction. In which direction do your fingers curl? Yes, it will curl in the anti-clockwise direction. So here what will be the direction of magnetic field? The direction of magnetic field will be anti-clockwise like this. So at this point R, the magnetic field points into the paper, and at the point S, magnetic field points out of the paper, because at the point R, magnetic field goes into the paper and it comes out from the point S. So here the magnetic field points into the paper, and at the point S, the magnetic field comes out of the paper. Okay, so this is the direction of magnetic field at the points R and S. Now, given R1 greater than R2, where will be the strength of magnetic field be larger, and give reason. So here from the figure it is very clear. S is closer to the conductor PQ and R is a little bit far away from the conductor PQ. So the strength of the magnetic field produced at the point S will be larger because it is nearer to the conductor, since magnetic field is inversely proportional to the distance. As distance decreases, the magnetic field strength increases. Okay, so here R2 is less than R1. So the magnetic field produced at S will be stronger than that at R. Now what is the third question? If the polarity of the battery connected to the wire is reversed, how would the direction of the magnetic field be changed? So if the polarity of the battery is reversed, then the direction of current is also reversed. Now current flows in the downward direction. And if the direction of current is reversed, direction of magnetic field is also reversed. So initially the magnetic field lines is in the anti-clockwise direction. Now the magnetic field lines will be in the clockwise direction. Okay, so the direction of magnetic field will also change. Now magnetic field will act in the clockwise direction like this. Now what is the fourth question? Explain the rule that is used to find the direction of magnetic field for a straight current carrying conductor. Which is that rule? It is the right hand rule. And how will you explain that rule? Point thumb of your right hand along the direction of current. Then the direction in which your fingers curls give the direction of magnetic field. Okay. So children, that's all about the questions in our sample paper. So we have completed our sample paper discussion. Please go through the questions once again and try to solve it by yourselves. Okay. With this, I am concluding my session. I hope all of you understood the questions and practice such type of application level questions for your board exams. Okay children, so we will meet in the next revision session. Till then, take care all of you. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.